Hey guys, it's Mcfixit here. We have this Husqvarna LTH130 and I was riding it earlier today with the mower deck running, and all of a sudden it stopped moving, but the mower deck continued to run. The engine works fine, but for some reason the drive is not working, and so I ended up having to kind of manually push it. And so I pulled out the little lever down here, and I was able to move it back onto some concrete to begin to work on it. And I'm pretty certain the belt drive is off on the back, and so I'm going to show you how to go ahead and take that off and put it back on. So you do need a 14 millimeter and a flathead screwdriver, because I don't want to pinch my fingers with the belt. And so I'm hoping this is what it is, and we can fix it and get it up and running again pretty quickly here. So we're going to show you all the steps, so just continue to watch and we'll show you exactly what to do. So there are 4 total bolts, 2 on this side, and they're 14 millimeter. And they do take a little bit to get off. Then we will go ahead and spin them all the way off.
If you have one of these ratcheting wrenches, it is super helpful for this application.
You just don't have much room to get your hand over here on the side between the tire. So make sure you put those someplace safe so you can get back to them and put them back on later. We'll go ahead and move to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and move to this side. And begin to break them. Sometimes I do hold on the bottom or hold up here just so this thing does not fall as you're twisting these off. And we'll go ahead and remove this cover. You do need to be careful that you let this piece come through. Right down here, you will want to make sure that comes through. And yes, the belt does look like it is off, so this should be a pretty easy fix to get that belt back on. So you can tell the belt is off because it should be right here, and it's really loose. Sometimes you can just easily slide it back up like that, which I'm shocked that actually worked. That means the tensioner is not properly working over here as much. But maybe when we, oh, I see what else. So there are little, on both sides, there's 2 little things that the belt goes around. They need to be on this side, and I think once I do that, and that belt's back on. And so this is like the tensioner over here. It's kind of hard to see, but as you pull this, you should see that pull back a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and start this up and see if I can get it to move and get back into the gear and be able to drive forward just a little bit. So I'm going to keep it back here so you can see it, and hopefully we can get it fired up pretty quick and move that back. If you were unable to just literally lift that up, I may have to get a new belt, because this one does look like it's stretched out a little bit. Sometimes what you'll have to do if this belt is down here is you'll have to kind of pry it up with a screwdriver. Do not just use your hands, because I've done that before and you can get your hands caught in this and it will really hurt. So use something metal. Flathead works really well to be able to kind of move that up and back on. So let me see if this thing fires back up. Eventually I'll probably have a repair video on putting a new belt on, because again, that's got about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch of wiggle room, which I don't probably want that much wiggle room on that without pulling the tensioner at all. So let's fire it up. And so it runs again. You saw it move up. It was unable to do anything like that before. And the belt is about the same. It's still kind of loose. And so eventually I will have a video on how to put on a new belt, because I don't like it that loose. So let's go ahead and start putting everything back together. So as you're doing this, there is a bottom piece that you can hook in like extra equipment that goes on the bottom, and you're also going to want to make sure this metal piece is down on there. And I kind of just slide it on and hold it with one hand and try to get it lined up. Just trying to get at least a bolt on into place. And so that one did spin into place, so I'll go ahead and go to this side and do the same thing. And then go ahead and get the next one by hand, and then the one over here by hand, and then we will go ahead and tighten these down. We'll just start with this side because that's where I'm sitting. Doesn't really matter which way, then you just tighten these down. I do not like to really kind of crank it down, because I will give it kind of a quarter turn more just to make sure this does not come off. Then we'll go ahead and get the next side. Oh. And it does take a few moments to tighten down, but not that bad. You may be able to get a socket in here, but I find this works really well because it just gives you the best ability to get in there and do what's needed. Oh, I had that on backwards. That is easy to do. And sometimes they really get on there well. And you got to kind of rattle them off. Okay, so that is done. You're able to go ahead and take your mower and go ahead and continue to mow. If this was helpful, please like, subscribe, comment if you do have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching today.